Special thanks to my Patreon supporter, Bo Mack, for helping making this video and other videos possible. Please consider supporting us at patreon.com/Montgomery Micros. My media room is a mess. There's too much that needs to be cleaned up and too many projects that need to be done. And I think today I'm going to see what I did to this poor EduQuest that was working, and then I started tinkering with it and it quit. So let's see if we can revive it and clean up. First things first, let's just see what happens when I turn it on. Ooh, not much. Is it plugged in? Yeah, it's plugged in. Oh, Bo, what did you do to this thing? Still nothing. All right, let's break into it a little bit and see what's going on. All right, let's check all the usual suspects. Make sure that there's nothing that could be giving it a dead short. All right. This slides out, which makes it kind of convenient. This goes from the power supply to the motherboard. This goes from the sound card up to the front panel. CD-ROM drive that I have in here. Let me see what's going on with it. I think I'm just going to pull it out and try to go back to the way it was when I got the computer. This is cumbersome. You know, I just discovered hard drive is just floating loose in here. It could be shorting. That could be causing the problem, obviously. Let me go have a look at that. I went ahead and I pulled the hard drive out just for fun. I mean, I know this drive works, or at least it did. I'm looking at the bottom of it here now, and I'm wondering if those marks have anything to do with short circuits. If they are, this drive could be dead, and that could be causing it not to power on. Maybe it just needs cleaning. I don't know. I hope I didn't kill the hard drive. It's not like I don't have plenty more, but if I did, if I was working on it and left the screws out and then made a boneheaded mistake and forgot and turned it on later, that's just very frustrating. I'm going to go ahead and I've put power back to the motherboard. I'm going to turn it back on now, and let's just see if it will come on and try to do some kind of bootstrap. I also found this bag, IBM EduQuest 45 from November 12th, 2022 with the parts. See, I've done too much stuff and I forget about things and it's just not good. At least I had the foresight to tag it and bag it. Anyway, let's see what we can get here. Okay, that's good. It means apparently there was a short probably on the hard drive. There's not going to be any video because the video... Oh, it's seeking the A drive. Okay, so there are signs of life now. Let's proceed. Okay, so surprisingly, the hard drive spins up. I have it connected, hanging out in the back of the computer. Let's see what happens now. Oh. Power. All right, let's see what she does. Hard drive spinning up. Hey, it's back alive! Let's see if it'll boot. Sorry about the refresh rate. Well, I can't. I don't have a keyboard hooked up. All right, let me play with this and see if I can make it boot up. It does not detect the hard drive. I am going to see. I know I played with the jumper. I think it's set to master right now. I'm going to see what happens if I change it to cable select. Wait, is there a on? Let me hang on before I get ahead of myself. You know, this screen, I know you can't tell, but it's a beautiful screen. Let's see if it'll try and boot from the hard drive now. I think I need to get one of those CR2032 batteries as well, and then I bet it'll, so there's an empty spot for it, so that'll be easy to make it remember its CMOS settings. And as I recall, this is where I think it hangs. There is a problem with the fixed disk. Well, then I guess it's not fixed, is it? Please call service. I'm still going to try to change the cable real quick. Okay, last time I said cable, I meant to say jumper. And I changed to the jumper and it didn't make a difference. So I just removed the jumper altogether and now it's not giving me a... Look, it detects the hard drive just fine. So I think that's okay. While I've got the lid off, just for fun, I'm going to see if I can make it go with the CD-ROM drive as well to detect it. Or maybe I'm just asking for trouble. Hell, let's go for it. You know, playing with the jumpers again with the CD-ROM drive connected is not yielding much success. I'm going to go back to my original plan right now. I'm just going to put it back together the way it was. I think this would make an awesome DOS 622 Windows 311 era computer. It'll play the hell out of some Doom with the DX4100. So I'm just going to go ahead and unbooger up everything that I did and try to put it back to exactly it was as I found it, like I had planned to do until I got distracted by something shiny. So here we go. Alright, so these are the CD-ROM drives that I have tried and did not have any success with. So I removed them, and I put the metal plate back in. I'm going to clean it up here a little bit and put it back in the chassis. And unfortunately, I can't find a copy of DOS 6 right now. I know I have one somewhere, but I think it would be quite appropriate to install, at least start off with, IBM DOS 5.0. It's a starting place, and we'll at least get to see if the computer will function. Okay, I've come across a little snafu. This is a problem. This hard drive mounts on a bracket, and even in my bag of stuff, I don't have the original bracket. I don't know where it went. So what I'm going to have to do in the meantime is just do some kind of rigged up, you know, half-assed way of getting the drive in there to where it won't short out, and then explore some kind of maybe 3D printing option if I can't find it. But I'll make sure that it's safe and that it's not going to short out when I put it back in there. I don't want to run it upside down because I was always taught back in the early 90s that if a hard drive gets used to running right side up, or on its side, or whichever way it runs, you shouldn't change it because the bearings get broken in a certain way. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the mantra that I've always used my whole life, and I see no need of stopping now. So I'm going to do a makeshift hard drive mount and go from there. Well, that's a good sign. I think we might be on the path to recovery. If it'll detect the hard drive and start formatting it, we'll be in pretty good shape. It's funny, it didn't ask to format the hard drive or anything. I wonder if there's something already on the disk. Let's see what happens when it tries to access it. It's doing something. I'm just going to let it proceed. Well, would you look at that? I thought we were about to boot off the hard drive. This was about to wrap it. There's always something. Well, again, this has been done very unprofessionally, and I just exited out booting from the floppy, and there was already stuff on this hard drive. Oops. Well, it's got Windows 3.0 already on. Okay. Well, that's something. I wonder what version. All right, you know what? Well, I can't even. For the time being, I'm going to call this computer back operational again. But there's a few things that I've learned, and I would like to share them with you. Now, keep in mind, this computer was found on the side of the road. It was never going to be a trash to treasure like Neil does on RMC. But nonetheless, a friend found it for me, and I loved it, and it needed to be rescued. It's a wonderful computer, and it still has a long life ahead of it. But if you have ADD, like some people here do, and you start working on things and then you put them aside, take detailed notes of what you do, what needs to be done, and it looks like I started to do that and then stopped. And this project, as you can see, was started almost 2 years ago, and started and stopped, and I still don't know why it was so difficult to try to install a CD-ROM drive. It should have taken it. There's got to be something simple, and well, it is an IBM, so who knows. But I've restored it pretty much back to the way I found it, other than the software that's on it. I still think I'm going to keep it as a DOS 622 Windows 3.11 machine, as it is a 486DX4 100. I think it'll play the hell out of some Doom. Got to get some floppies to do that. I don't know if I'm ever even going to try to put a CD-ROM drive in it again. It doesn't need to. I can install an external compact flash card reader. There's really no reason to install an optical drive in it. I just thought it would have been cool. Some machines are easier to work on than others. This machine, this is, like I said, this is no way any kind of restoration. To restore it, it would need to be stripped down all the way down to the chassis. And I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. At least not right now. I have a million other projects I need to do, some of which are dependent on me to function. Both of my modern computers are not working right now. Well, except for my M2 Mac Mini that turned a year old yesterday. Happy birthday, Daniel Macintosh.0. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And again, I want to send a special thanks out to my Patreon supporter, Bo Mac. I hope to get some more than just one. You can support us at patreon.com/Montgomery Micros, or just subscribe to our channel on YouTube and like the video. That helps. This is a passion. I don't do this to try to make a profit. I do it to try to make it a self-funding hobby that I can share with the community. And I'd also like to open a computer museum in my area one of these days. So again, thanks for watching. And if any of you happen to know any tricks about putting a CD-ROM drive in an old IBM EduQuest, please be sure to share them in the comments. Thank you, and have a good evening.